Hello friends, hello. We are back with another reading for you today under the topic of your future self's messages for right now. So I was out and about this morning and I was having a little bit of a kind of a rough start to the morning. And my guides were like, you don't need to be looking to the past for this one, for guidance, advice, information, divination. You need to be speaking with your future self on how to handle what they are calling this transition time. So I thought that would be a good topic for our reading today is, what is your future self's advice or guidance for you right now? So to pick your pile, we're going to use the Mystic Martian Oracle and get out 3 cards. This is going to be pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. Your future self's messages for right now. All right, so pile number 1 is going to be the air element, card number 25, philosophy, discrimination, and empathy. Interesting. Hot air balloons and lots of swirly swirls. Card number 2 is, we've got elements here. The water element. Card number 40, reflection, kindness, and compassion. I think it's one of my favorite cards in the whole deck. This underwater, this swimming, looks kind of tropical. Card number 3, oh, interesting, is 33, Merkaba, movement, long distance travel, and excitement. So if you want to pick your piles with crystals, because we've got plenty of those guys hanging around, for pile number 1, we've got this big old chunky piece of carnelian. I just grab them as they want to come into my hands. Pile number 2, we've got this little spirit quartz. It's kind of a weird shape. I don't know what's going on there. And for pile number 3, we have one of my favorite crystal types. I love smoky quartz, and this is a beautiful piece of raw smoky quartz. So before we dive right in, let's take a deep breath together while you're looking at your piles. You might want to get out your pendulum. You definitely want to call in your guides. Surround yourself, like we always do here on the channel. We might as well just do it now. Surrounding all of us in love, light, and light love. Inviting in the guides that overlight TLC for the soul. And you can do the same. Invite in your guides because they're going to help. The more you're in a sacred space, the more you're in a receptive mode, surrounded by your guides, the better hits and advice and information you're going to get, as well as any messages that I'm channeling in for you. So you want to listen with your master senses, your feelings, your intuition. There may be things happening in the background of the reading that are also messages for you. A lot of things happen out in the back part of the backyard here. Animals come by. We've had a lot of deer come into the yard. We had fox. We have rabbits living under the deck here by the back door. So you may see, tons of birds. I don't know, you may see something interesting happening in the background. Pay attention. Today we have, I'm calling her Wanda today. We have Wanda the cat joining us for this little, like our little mascot. And we have Panic Pete, which is like a kid's, well, it's not a kid's toy, but it's a very fun, inner child, fun-like toy. All right, so let's take our deep breath together. And I will see you in your piles. Hello, pile number 1. Hello. You chose card number 25, the air element, philosophy, discrimination, and empathy, along with this big chunky piece of carnelian. And what does your future self want you to know right now? We're going to get the book out by the Mystic Martian. And my throat is getting a little scratchy, so just bear with me. I might have to take sips of water. It's very windy outside today, as you can see. The wind is blowing, and I feel kind of out of breath today for some reason. But okay, so this is a very small little thing, but the air is one of the 4 classical elements and critical energetic forces that sustains physical third-dimensional life on our planet. Air rules Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini, so that could be one of your signs. And you know, everything is one of your signs technically, but maybe that's your sun sign or your rising or your planet. That's my mic. Or your moon sign. Those are the ones we typically look at. So it could be that. There's a lot going on with the voice here because I'm struggling with the mic. I've got the air element. My throat started feeling scratchy as I went into your reading, and my mic just like dropped off. And I'm going to have to find a way to put it on. I don't know here. It's kind of annoying. All right. I think we got it. So let's get some more cards out on the table. Let me see if there's anything else in the book. It says Archangel Raphael rules the air element. Thoth is an air deity, and air is a masculine yang element. Well, that explains the carnelian, which obviously, well, to me, it's a very young masculine stone. Air symbolically rules intelligence, communication, and thought. And we are moving, well, when this reading drops, we will be in Gemini season, moving into Gemini season, which is ruled by Mercury. Lots of stuff going on with thoughts. And maybe Thoth. Thoth is, Egyptian deity of like wisdom and the keeper of ancient mysteries. Let's just keep going. What does your future self want you to know? This is the tarot for the psychic. I think it's tarot for the psychic heart. Let's see. For pile number 1, what else does their future self want them to know? All right. I love the backs of cards. Balance, card number 14, and well-deserved reward, card number 9. Okay, I'm going to get some, I like to get the cards out on the table to form a complete picture before I just start saying some more stuff. So I've also brought in the Final Rose Tarot. So good. I love these cards. The cards are just so good. I get excited by the cards. Let's see what else. Oh, 2 cards there. So you've got 2, 2. What is this? Oh, card number 3, the Bachelorette. I'm going to do it like that. And the only thing is, oh, here we go. Queen of Rings, the single mom. Have a fun day, love. Look at that. I mean, that's a loving mom. Like, she made an excellent sandwich. It's very balanced looking. It's very balanced looking, right? Look, it's like a sandwich, and then it's got fruit and stuff. It's got that little love note off to the side. And it's sitting on top of the balance card and Bachelorette and single mom. Okay. And then for your other tarot deck, I'm going to use the Bohemian Animal Tarot. And I don't know, I'm sorry about these backs right here. That just pretty much sold me. That and the Magician card. I'm like a sucker for a good looking deck. I can always say that. And you got two. Oh my gosh, this has to be romance. It has to be. You've got two, two, two. You've got two cards, two cards, two cards. You got the Ace of Fire. I mean, if that's not all about. And the King of Cups, or the King of Water in this deck. Now, I also really like to look at the books. So I'm going to read from the book for the single mom. The Queen of Rings. Let's see. The rings is physical material. I think this is Pentacles. The single mom, the Queen of Pentacles. It's taken a long time to find the page, so maybe it's taken a while for you to get to the point to be able to receive this message. The book says, maternal caring, providing, and doing it all. This loving mother has made the most of her circumstances and turned her messes into successes. She's been through it all and mastered the roles she's playing, making her a gem. Even though she carries extra baggage, it's filled with little treasures. Make no mistake, she's not looking for a savior. Instead, through her ability to overcome and thrive, she's in love with her life. She has major responsibilities, yet knows the value of indulging in pleasure. She's ready for her ideal match, who appreciates and adores her beautiful presence and is grateful to share life experiences with her. Okay. So it looks like, and it looks like your person is almost arriving. But I want to be careful with that because I don't like to talk about timing a lot because it can be a little disconcerting. So let's hold on just one second. Let's look at the Ace of Fire because this book is another amazing book. And this card is the Magician. That's the card that pretty much sold me on the whole entire deck. The freaking Magician card. I mean, come on. Oh, it's so amazing. Ace of Fire. Let's just see. Where's the fire? Creativity, charm, passion, self-confidence, and bravery. Now, there's a lot in this book, so I'm not going to read the whole entire thing. But the animal archetype in this card is the cobra. It looks very Egyptian to me. And we already talked about Thoth and the emerald tablets. The cobra is a curious individual. While more than eager to explore new territory, she is frightfully suspicious of others. The cobra tends to be introverted and quick to react to interference, prying, or criticism, especially when it is uninvited. She warns against allowing yourself to be wooed or charmed by the words or appearance of people, places, or things, especially when the once bitten, twice shy scenario describes your experiences up until now. The cobra encourages us, oh my gosh, I can't even talk. The cobra encourages us to remove our rose-colored glasses that romantically tint our view of the world, giving everything we perceive an air of beauty and perfection. In doing so, the cobra enables us to see the truths that may have been staring us in the face all along. She loves to expose those who would conceal who they really are. I think this is kind of what you've been doing up until this point. Because it does talk here about the Ace of Fire is a cobra with robes synonymous of ancient Egypt. Let me just see if there's anything else that stands out to me here. It's life-affirming, renewal energy, and seeds that have been planted and growing seeds. The start of a time of passion is one of the key words that's standing out to me here. So I do feel like this is calling in love, but what does your future self want you to know about calling in love right now? It sounds like you've been doing a lot of work on yourself. You may have been single for quite some time because you have the Bachelorette and the single mom. That's 2 times. All your cards have been 2 of the same, like two cards, 2 cards, 2 cards. That to me is a number both of being in balance and also of soulmate energy. Whatever moniker you want to put on it, twin flame, divine counterpart, soulmate, I don't really care. But because what this is calling in a counterpart, a divine counterpart who is perfectly aligned to you. And if you've been doing a whole lot of work on yourself, then this is a well-deserved reward. This is not some, they're saying this is not some panic beat from the past, like somebody that caused you stress, somebody that caused you to lose your inner child and lose your sense of who you were and your sense of self. And maybe you're an earth angel who just like gave way too much in past relationships. So you were burned in the past. Well, you felt like you were burned in the past, but these were really all lessons to be learned to get you to a point where you've like, where you could say something like, well, I'm never going to do that again. I'm never going to have that type of relationship again because I'd rather be by myself, even if in case you may have kids. I'd rather be by myself, a single mom, than go through that again. And if I ever do call in another relationship, that person has to be perfectly aligned to me, in touch with their emotions, in touch with who they are, is doing the soul work that is required of me, right? Of you, the person watching this, because you have done so much work on yourself, you would no longer then align to somebody who wasn't aligned to you. So it's almost by the nature of the law of attraction, you're already calling in, because you've done so much work, you could no longer align to anybody that wasn't, on the same level as you, so to speak. So let's get then, because that's nice. That's kind of like where we're at now. What is your higher self from the future? What is your future self, higher self from the future, whatever you want to call this, want you to know? So what's then the advice for pile number 1? So I've got my deck, Loveland. It's autumn pack and spring pack. I put them together. But what's some advice then? We're confirming this, I guess. They're saying for pile number 1. But what else does pile number 1 then need to know? We've got Loveland support. So tired. You are having a difficult time right now, and you need to increase your self-care routine. So you're being asked to, I feel like you've been doing that. I feel like there may be spurts. You may be having a hard time right now when you come to this, going like, oh, what do I need right now? Some little thing could have rocked your world over the past couple of days and maybe caused you to think like, maybe my manifestation isn't coming or something. Maybe, maybe I've fallen off the path or whatever because I had some sort of hiccup that I felt like it was like a hiccup going on. It's kind of threw me a little bit. And your guys are saying, no, there's ascension processes going on right now to help raise the level of the planet up to higher levels of consciousness. And in doing so, it affects the physical body, the mental and emotional body. Like right now with this out of breath feeling that I'm having, this just came on this morning and there's no good reason for it. Like I've already done like a hike and I've done like a big, huge workout. Like I'm not typically like an out of breath person. But I feel out of breath and I feel like I need to just like take a moment, like take a pause, slow down. This is your advice. Take some deep breaths. Everything's fine. And everything is fine. Finish the story. Fright Night. Oh, it's one of my favorite movies. The OG, not this, whatever the remake. Haunted House. Bill paid for 2 tickets to the Halloween haunted house. It was a foggy, dark night, and he thought it would be a fun treat. But Melanie refused to go because... So right now you're being guided to have like fun. Like these Finish the Stories right now are like fun. Your future self is like, everything's going to be fine. Fright Night was a movie right about this teenage boy and his girlfriend, and like a vampire moved in next door, and the vampire stole the girlfriend away from the boy, and he had to fight. The boy had to like fight to save her from the vampire. And I don't know if that plays here or not. Maybe there's some metaphors there for you. For me, this haunted house story, like I like spooky stuff, but one time I went to a haunted house and it was poorly designed, and I ended up hitting my head on like a big 2x4 piece of wood, and I hurt my head really bad. I almost got a concussion, and I was like, that's the end of that, you know? And so are you letting, you know, things like spoil your joy maybe? Because I don't know about going to a haunted house again, but maybe there's something you really want to do, but something from the past is like, well, I'll never do that again. Maybe it is this, I'll never do that again with this person. Maybe that is your Fright Night. Maybe your person was some sort of energy vampire, but you're being guided to bring some fun back into your life regardless what this brings up for you when I'm saying these things, and just to enjoy your life. And then Bringers of the Light, call to action. Janelle had often felt lonely, but now was the time to bring in new friends. She needed to get out and shine her light more. This would attract the friends she so desired. So it's going at the top of your reading, and there's quite a few messages with this card, so this is probably where we're going to end it. But the messages here, number one, when I get this card, it means there is like a DNA upgrade going on. There are significant physical, mental, emotional changes going on within you that are soon to appear in your outer world. You have done the soul work you need to align to your person. Right now, it's kind of like a waiting game, so to speak, waiting for the divine timing of, you know, serendipitous meetings and synchronistic contact or whatever, or that divine intervention where, you know, you're told to like go somewhere, be somewhere at a certain time, and then, oh, you just happen to bump into, you know, this person, and it ends up being, you know, your person that you've been aligning to all this time. Or, you know, online, you know, maybe you're supposed to like get out, I don't know what it is for you. Maybe you're supposed to get on social media or something and just post more or something and put yourself out there more. And the right person will find you that way. It's different for each person. But shining your light too is not being afraid to get out there with these band-aids. After all the hard work you've done on yourself, you're not going to attract the vampire anymore, the bad guy. You're going to attract the good guy. And in that movie, I forget the kid's name. The boyfriend really fought for the girl. I mean, he almost, you know, if he fought to the death for the girl, because the vampire was like, I'm taking her, she's mine, she's like my wife from a past life, and I'm gonna have her no matter what. And the kid really fought to the almost to the death to save this girl. And I feel like that maybe that's this love story that you're working up towards meeting, this person you're working towards meeting. This is not a person that you've met in this lifetime. This is somebody who you're getting ready to be ready to bump into somewhere, be it online or be it in person. And you both have been fighting for this love. You both have been doing the work that needs to be done to get away from those energy vampires, be it, you know, other partners or family members or friends or your job, or like this reading, your future self is telling you you're ready to be ready. And now all you've got to do is enjoy your life, take care of yourself, and get ready for this new phase of your life to begin. So this is a congratulations, pile number 1, and I'm very happy for you, and I'm so proud of all of us little bringers of the light who are doing the work both for ourselves and to help raise the consciousness of our beautiful, beautiful planet. And so with that, I'm going to leave you here. I might see you in another pile or somewhere else on the interwebs at TLC for the Soul. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and we will see you again soon. Take care. Hello, pile number 2. Hello. You chose card number 40, the water element, with reflection, kindness, and compassion. That's where I want to be all day long, like swimming at the beach. And this little aura spirit quartz, it's like a little point, I guess. Kind of a little interestingly shaped quartz crystal. All right, so what does your future self, higher self's messages for you right now? What do you most need to know about what's going on in your life right now? What advice do they have for you? So I like to pull out the book for this deck. And I'm looking, and this is the very last card in the deck. Water is one of the 4 classical elements and critical energetic forces that sustains physical third-dimensional life on our planet. Water rules Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. That may be your sun, moon, or rising. This Archangel Gabriel rules the water element. Poseidon is a water deity. And water is a yin element. Water symbolically rules understanding, emotions, and sensitivity. So this is interesting because one of the other piles had the yang element. I think it was pile number 1. And the stone was very yang. And I feel like this is very yin. It's a very cool blue, cute little, you know, if you get in close enough, you can see what's happening in there. I don't know. There's like a lot going on. It's blue. I just kind of randomly picked those up at the same time. So what's going on? Let's get some other cards on the table. What is going on with pile number 2? What does your future self want you to know right now? This is, oh, there we go. Psychic Tarot for the Heart by John Holland. If you watch my videos long enough or my readings long enough, you'll know I'm a sucker for good card backs. And I like tarot decks that are oracle sized. Okay, you've got 3 cards from this. You've got Open Up. Oh, Reach Out. I think those are pentacles. I'm going to look back. Oh, my candle blew out. Oh, look, see, you're at the end of something. I don't know. Let's see if we can relight it. This candle, these little candles, the wicks aren't long enough. The wicks burn down too fast. And then you have all this good wax. So I'm saving all the wax to make more candles because I don't like that. Now let's see. There's a little windy out. And your third card is card number 16, Rebuild. I believe this is the Tower card in the traditional tarot. So you've got 3, 4. You've got 2 4s with 40 and 4. Card number 16 is Rebuild. This Reach Out is the 3 of Pentacles, which is like let yourself be, they're saying let yourself be loved. That would mean this is the 4 of Pentacles, which is about, to me in this card, it's saying open up, but it looks like perfectly balanced opening, like a flower opening almost. I feel like it's very similar messages to another pile here. Let's get the Final Rose Tarot. Again, I mean, yum, yum. Look at that single rose. Long stem rose. All right, pile number 2. What do we got going on for pile number 2? You've got 2 cards. You've got the 10 of Pentacles with Hometown. And the King of Pentacles with the jeweler. Oh, what's going on here? All right, this is starting to get on my nerves. That cannot be. That's going to have to change. All right. We are going to read about that in just a second. They're having me go to my Loveland Oracle deck. This is my autumn pack and my spring pack put together. What else does your higher self want you to know? The mind. Overthinking and attachments are clouding your perspective. Time to clear the mental body. Meditation will bring in higher vibrations. Alternate dimensions, when you just know you've met somewhere before. I'm going to read from the jeweler. The King of Pentacles. This deck has a really good book. I know it's based on a TV reality series, which I've never ever watched. And so luckily, I just can form my own opinions of these cards. The gemstone looks like a little heart. It's going in a beautiful ring. The jeweler, as he arrives with his sparkling jewels set in platinum and gold, you're in for a day full of opulence and adornment. He makes dreams possible through his dealings, since he's the embodiment of wealth and material riches. Take this emblem of eternal fortune and golden opportunities as your sign that it's time for your ultimate fulfillment. The keywords are opulence, luxury, delivering goods, and business. And then I'm going to read Hometowns, 10 of Rings. As you approach the end of the road on this journey for love, you're met with the door to your potential future. You're given a glimpse into the very realistic picture of what to expect in everyday life once your fantasies manifest into reality. This is a moment of wealth and security as the romance of it all becomes grounded in the physical plane. Families are able to grow as practicalities are sorted, laying the groundwork for a very stable, abundant future. I do feel like with this being the yin pile, the yin card, that you are through the mind, maybe through meditation, maybe through any of them, clairaudience, claircognizance, clairvoyance, that you have been getting glimpses into what your future is like when you manifest whatever's coming for you next. I think you've spent a lot of time in the astral realms and whatever you want to call it, the 5D. I like to call it the astrals rather than assigning a dimension to it, but to each his own. You've been spending a lot of time daydreaming things into reality, because when I picked up the water card, I said like, oh, wouldn't that be great if I could just like swim there all day long at the beach? And it was like, yes, I want that, right? So you've been doing a lot of that. You've been like, wouldn't it be great if, maybe you've been seeing places like people on vacation. You're like, oh, I'd love to go there. Maybe you watch, like I love to watch travel videos and those walking about town videos, like Walking Alice is a good one. Walking Alice, or there's somebody else, I can't remember the name of their channel, and they walk around like all the French and European cities like the Alps and all that. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I think you've been dreaming something into existence, and your future self / higher self, they're kind of two different things, but the future you from the future is telling you that all this is really possible. They're saying dream a little dream of me. So all this really is going to happen for you. You just have to wait a little longer. You have to ride the waves right now of change as your wish is being manifested. So, okay, that's a little cryptic, but let's get out. I'm then going to get out the City of Dreams Oracle by Jackie Franco, only because it takes place in New York. And that's another one where I'm like, oh, I could live there. I could go there a lot. I love New York City. And I think I've only been there once as a little kid. But as a bringer of the light, you may be being drawn. Oh, please don't catch my candle on fire. Or my little cloth. We're going to have to... You may be being drawn to certain places that you weren't drawn to before and wonder why you're being drawn there. Like, I didn't care about New York City, before, and all of a sudden I care about New York City. Why? As a bringer of the light, as an earth guardian, you may be getting reassigned to different places that are, fun for you. And where you can do your light work, help raise the consciousness of the planet, and have a nice little reward for all the hard work you've done. Like I'm hearing Barbados here. So maybe there's somewhere in the Caribbean. Maybe some of you are getting reassigned or saying Bora Bora, like some interesting places that you wouldn't typically think about. So what's your future self's advice for you then right now? What are you being guided to do while you're apparently getting ready to manifest something or someone? Or maybe it's everything coming in kind of all at the same time. Maybe it's a person who can help support like a dual soul mission kind of thing, but a person who's, kind of wealthy maybe. And that's a huge, big old freaking gemstone right there. It could be a brand new house. You've been wanting to move somewhere. This is a cute little house. Like, I don't want a house with a pink door. That looks really fun. I don't know. Yes. See, this is just, everybody's getting kind of the same messages today. Their future self is all saying, relax, take it easy, clear your energy, clear your mind. Because I think you may have been drawn to this reading because this is my twin flame card, this 1111, and bringing yourself back into balance. But I think, you may have had something come up over the past couple of days that's kind of, messed with your mind or your emotions or something a little bit. And you may feel like, oh, because this little thing happened, this little blip or whatever it is, or this wobble in my in my day or my journey, does that mean that none of my stuff is coming true? And your guides are like, that is so far from it. You have to give yourself a break. You have to, your advice is to reach out through your guides more often. If you want to know the answer to something, just ask. If you're worried about something, you're not going to get good guidance if you're all frazzled and out of your element. Believe me, it happened to me the past couple of days. I told my son, I'm like, this is the hardest day I've had like in many years. I don't know what it is. I think there's some completion energy coming in. There is a huge, big, ginormous Venus star point happening on June 3rd, 4th. That falls right on my Gemini sun. It's right on my birthday. But this is timeless. No matter when you listen to this, you may have just had something that rocks your world, or you may be at the end of a cycle because that water element card is the last card in the book. That candle blew out like, well, this is almost the last part of this little journey before we light a new flame and keep going to a new adventure. And so I feel like you're just right at the tail end of something. And it seems like, just from what I've experienced over the past few days, that when there's getting ready to be like a major shift in your life, you get these weird like time out of time moments where you're like pulled out of normal. I don't know what else to call it. Pulled out of your normal, and you have some sort of like life review, and stuff comes up to be cleared, and you are given, like opportunities to like kind of, they're saying throw the baby out with the bathwater, like get rid of things, clear, cleanse. And get ready for this new journey to begin. And I kind of feel like that's where you're at, pile number 2. And all that stuff you've been dreaming about and wanting is not like some sort of pipe dream that just like showed up for no good reason. It's coming from the heart space, which is where the seed of the Akashic record lives. That's why we're always saying follow your heart, because the answer is encoded in the heart space and in the heart, not necessarily the chakra itself, they're saying, but there's some sort of area within the heart space where this Akashic record and this memory lives. And that's why you're supposed to be, that's why you're getting these dreams and these visions and all this stuff, is because it's not just, it's not just your imagination. Like, it's like, right, when we're kids, like, we're always told, like, oh, there's my imaginary friend Bobo or whatever, I don't know who the hell, right? Panic Pete or the Wanda the cat. And you're told, you know, by adults, like, oh, you're just imagining things, you know what? And so it kind of closes that down. And it's like, and then when you get into adulthood and you have these wonderful imagining things that are really your third eye and your psychic senses trying to tell you stuff, you shut that down and discount it as being imaginary, because you were told as a kid, like, oh, what, you know, get real. It's not how things go or whatever, right? And shut down the whole beautiful part of manifesting, which is imagining and letting those things come to you. So you're being guided to, like, bring yourself back into balance. Everything's fine. Take a salt bath, do some meditation, definitely get out in nature, reach out to your guides, open your psychic senses back up and let those visions come back through again. If you're manifesting another person, there may be a lot of communication in the astral realms and in dream time. Allow those to happen. It's not imaginary. It's not, you know, just some spirit friend wanting to hook up or whatever. Like, this is real. This is happening. And I feel like part of my role here is to tell you, you know, like, you're not imagining things. And this is all quote unquote true. It's stuff that's meant for you. And it's meant to show up for you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be seeing it. You'd be seeing some other weird thing, and then it wouldn't resonate with you, right? So here's the thing. You see these visions, right? And it's like your Akashic record or your future self or whatever you want to deem it as, and, you know, things you're manifesting, or like Abraham and Esther Hicks say, stuff coming down from the vortex. It's already been there. It's already been preloaded for you. Most of it, the big stuff anyway, from pre-incarnation. And that's why it resonates with you. That's why you want them. That's why you want to work towards these things. It would be totally bizarre, you know, as all get out, if you saw some vision, you were like, what? Like, you know, I don't want that. I don't want to be the president of, you know, I don't know, pick anywhere. I don't want to do that. You know, that would make no sense at all. So when it feels so good in your body and so good in your senses, there's nothing else to do but trust the guidance you're getting, the visions you're seeing, and know that these things are coming for you. They're not imaginary. They're not, you know, pipe dreams. I feel like somebody who has told you before, maybe, you know, when you were younger, like, oh, that's a pipe dream. Why would you want to do that? Maybe someone's tried to squash your dreams, you know, like, oh, who would want to do that? That's so stupid. Or, oh, you know, any number of who knows what. And we're here to tell you to just squash all that. Reach out to your guides if you need them. Today, they answered a question for me, and I'm like, it opened up like a whole new, like, understanding of a situation that's been happening for me. And I was like, why didn't you guys just tell me this sooner? And they're like, well, you didn't ask us. And I was like, oh, mother F, right? I was kind of like, what? Seriously? And they're like, you didn't ask us. I'm like, okay, so you have to ask questions of your guides sometimes in very specific, direct ways, or you will not get the answers you want. Or sometimes there's many levels of truth to a certain situation, and you're not ready to hear a particular answer yet. And so you get some other, like, watered down 3D version of an answer, and you're like, that's not self-satisfying. I don't like that. I'm like a spiritual seeker. I'm like, I want to know the why, like the real high level version why, you know, coming from the angels and the higher level guidance. I don't want to know the watered down version. So pay attention to what you're receiving and know that everything is fine. And we're here to tell you that all these rewards that are coming to you are very well deserved. Pile number 2. And with a deep breath, let me tell you that that is what we have for you today. And we want to thank you so much for joining us here. Maybe we'll see you in another pile, or hopefully we'll see you somewhere else on the interwebs of TLC for the Soul, or in the astral realms, who knows, where we might meet again. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome, welcome. You chose card number 33, Merkaba, movement, long distance travel, and excitement, along with this beautiful smoky quartz. Let's take a look at the book for this Merkaba card. But I'm already getting the 333. Oh, don't set my thing on fire. The 333, the wind. I might have to shut this. The wind is very strong right now. There's a lot of wind coming in this whole reading. Let's get the book. Card number 33. The Merkaba means to ride and is an ancient Jewish mystic practice that explains the geometric mechanics, oh, we've got some sacred geometry, right, of interdimensional travel. It is often referred to as the chariot. The Merkaba is the divine light vehicle that contains the crystalline matrix energy when activated and in full motion. Mer is light, Ka is spirit, this is Egyptian again, Ba is body. The Merkaba is two interlocking 3D tetrahedron grid energy forces, wow, that are counter-rotating and spinning until they form a divine orb force of light, spinning at light speed, wheels within wheels. It is speculated that certain highly advanced ETs have mastered this natural consciousness technology. The book of Ezekiel makes reference to the Merkaba and describes it as a sort of flying box of wings that forms the parameter of a chariot and an angel likeness of a man driving the wheeled chariot. The card meaning movement, vehicle, out-of-body experiences, ascended consciousness, kundalini activation, traveling to foreign places, excitement, action, and charging ahead. 333. Let's get some more cards for you. Let's get the Psychic Tarot of the Heart by John Holland. If this is your first pile you're dropping in on, I'm saying I'm a sucker for like good card backs. All of these card backs, they're to me just as artsy as the fronts. The fronts. Let's see, what we got? What else we got for pile number 3? I might have said pile number 2 a second ago. I don't remember. I'm feeling like I might have said that. We've got, oh my gosh. Okay, you may be coming from another pile because these exact two cards came out together in another pile. Card number 14, balance. This is a very well shuffled deck. Card number 9, well-deserved reward. Okay, let's keep going. Let's draw this final rose tarot. Another like good old beautiful card back. I mean, come on. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Okay, pile number 3. The 6 of Roses challenge winner. This is the 6 of Wands. I believe Roses is Wands. I'm going to double check that. But you've got a trophy going on there. Did I get Loveland? All right, I'm going to use my Loveland Oracle pack. This is my deck. This is my spring pack and my fall pack put together. I should be already getting the summer and the winter pack together. That's kind of where we're headed. Pile number 3. Peace in the heart. As the beings of Loveland looked on, all they could ever want or need was right before their eyes. Peace within you and peace all around you. You are truly blessed. This is like a giant peace dove when I drew this, flying over the planet, and these were just like, I guess, significant beings, maybe, you know, beings like us, people, other beings too. Let's get a Bohemian Animal Tarot. This is my newest deck that I just got in. I mean, come on, the backs. I mean, I just love it so much. What's going on for pile number 3? It's talking about winner and well-deserved rewards and you're in balance, but what else is happening? What's your advice? What's your future self trying to tell you? Oh, the Star, number 17. You're moving forward. You're moving. This is unicorn energy. Oh my God. You are super high vibe. I think this card said it all with like ascended consciousness. I think you've done a lot to work on yourself. let's see what this Six of Roses is all about. This book is really good for this deck. Victory, ego boost. Yeah, recognition and achievement. Oh, it is. Oh, that's a 9. This is the 9 of Pentacles in this deck. It's a 6 and a 9, but I almost saw 6, 6. The Six of Roses, in a challenge where everyone is called to rise to the occasion, accepting and putting your best foot forward surely comes with great rewards. You may not be at the end of your journey yet, and more challenges will come your way. However, trust that you have full support as you continue ahead. Take pride in your achievements. Let yourself shine in your victories. Gloat if you want to. The moment is yours. Enjoy it to the fullest. Let me see the Star card. Now this deck, I like decks too with really good books. This deck has a huge book. It's amazing, and I'm not going to read from it all, but it's the Unicorn. Let's see. Said to be magical in form and protective and health ensuring in property, those who drank from a unicorn horn goblet were said to live long, healthy lives, immune to impotency and all poisons. Unicorn horn is also believed to purify water of pollutants and to clear the cloudiest of pools when submerged, while the water used to steep the horn is said to offer an instant cure for any illness. Card 17, the Star, depicts Astarte dressed in a beautiful gown patterned with signs of the zodiac. It references Homer's Odyssey and the epic story that narrates a long 10-year journey home from the Trojan War with the stars and faith in gods offering your only form of direction. The unicorn is seen pouring the waters of life from 2 jugs, representing the marriage of 2 opposites, yin and yang. Hope for the future, believing, faith for a positive future, good things to come, renewed hope, and receiving a positive answer or reply, hearing good news. It says, before you're able to truly reemerge, you, as the initiate, are faced with the pool of memory where your dreams surface for you to consider and ponder, a process that is typical of the lower world. Some of your memories will be happy while others will not, but you will be expected to look closely at them all before you are allowed to move on. This is a message we got the other day, that there's something happening kind of right now in the collective. It's not just happening to one person, where there's this little bit of this life review going on. Before you can move forward, before you can get to those well-deserved rewards, there's maybe some healing work that has to be done. Hence with the smoky quartz, is all about clearing negative energy. Yeah, let's see. Let's get some more information though. I feel like that's still a little general. We're going to use the City of Dreams Oracle by Jackie Franco. It's my City of Freedom, New York City. It's pile number 3. I just saw 911, which is my Archangel Michael calling card. Could be a call to a higher soul mission or soul purpose. But this is, yes, this is all about celebrating. Celebrating. Okay, here's what I think is happening here. I'm going to pull from the bottom of the deck, but without even moving it. Yeah, this is about the full moon and projections. I was just talking about collective energy. There's some big signs of freedom codes here. I think what's happening here, pile number 3, point number 1 is I think you're coming from another pile. And so you're not going to get a really like a repeat message. I think what you're getting here is we've already told you somewhere, somehow, possibly in another one of these piles or in another reading, that your dreams are all coming true. And your future self is saying, this is a time right now to just relax, stay in balance. This life review is happening for everyone at this time, regardless of when you're watching this. This is dropping at the end of May 2024, but this could happen whenever you stumble upon it. It's timeless. You are about to be greatly rewarded for a lot of work that you've done. And as part of those rewards, there's going to be an increased level of, I call it like an integrity upgrade, an increased level of integrity afforded to you in that I work with Archangel Raziel on like the Hierophant energy. I call it like wizard training and the inner mystery school teachings. You know, I work a lot with, I don't work a lot with Thoth, but I do work a lot with some of the other ascended masters, and they all kind of show up when there's like inner mystery school teachings to open up to. And when someone has reached a certain level of integrity, that has to happen through the heart space and kind of like the do no harm. It's not a motto. What is that called? Like the creed, the do no harm creed. And the more your heart space opens, the greater your level of integrity goes up, and the more, or the less like, the more you're trusted by the bringers of the light headquarters, or the guides and beings that are in charge of light workers on the planet. And the more you're allowed to then get a glimpse into deeper spiritual meanings behind things, some things that are more, like I said, called like the inner mystery school teachings, things that wouldn't just be shared with everybody in the public because they wouldn't understand them. They haven't reached a level of spiritual integrity and spiritual truth to be able to quote unquote get it. But you have. And so with this next level, assignments coming up could involve long distance travel, physical travel. It could mean that you're getting upgraded and now you're able to actually physically travel somewhere rather than just going in a darn Merkaba all the time. You'll be able to physically go to some places you've been wanting to go to. Well, it's under the guise that you really want to go there, but the higher spiritual truth is you are being guided to go there because you have spiritual mission work to do there. You have bringers of the light work to do there. You'll be given special assignments to go do on these travels and so forth. And you have a lot of that coming up. Your future self is saying a lot of service work, a lot of divine assignments, a lot of integrity upgrades, a lot of physical 3D travel. This came up in another pile as well. And so right now you're just being guided to, you know, all of that's coming. I think throughout all three piles, the overarching theme is like all of this is really happening. All of this is really coming. All of this is really manifesting. That it's not, you know, some pipe dream or whatever. It's all really about to pop off. But right now, at this moment that you're watching this, it's not popping off quite yet. It's not going to take months, they're saying. It's possibly like a matter of days or even possibly weeks. I mean, it sounds very close. And so you're being guided to rest, relax, meditate, do what service work you're able to do right now. Close out any chapters of things you're working on. Maybe it is books. I just closed out a whole soulmate series, 3 different books I've recorded for you guys on YouTube and on my podcast of audiobooks from my soulmate series of books that I channel a lot of fiction and nonfiction books. I finished doing that today. Close old chapters, do a little life review. If there's anything you need to clear out, you know, my guides came to me yesterday and said, you have to do a soul retrieval before your birthday, which is on Monday the 3rd. And I was like, what? And so I sat down this morning and I did it. And I was kind of putting it off a little bit because I'm like, this seems like it's going to be a lot. And they're like, no. And I mean, within 30 minutes, you know, we were done. We had done it. And I felt so much better afterwards. I'm like, why didn't I do this sooner? So just pay attention to the guidance you're getting. There's new mountains to climb coming up soon, but you are being afforded with these integrity upgrades a higher level of divine clarity and spiritual perspective into things. And I think it's going to make you feel like so much better, maybe about even some niggling things that have been bothering you about, like, I'm a spiritual seeker. I want to know the why behind things. I don't want spirit to just tell me like, well, do this or whatever. And I don't want to, like, I want to know why I'm doing it, or why is more importantly, I want to know, why is the energy working this way? What is it about this? I am that like Merkaba person that we read about at the very beginning. Like, so that's probably you too. Like, you may want to know, like, why does the Merkaba work the way it does? So what does it mean that it's these wheels and turning and that? You may get into sacred geometry more. There's so much to explore out there, and everybody's kind of forte and everybody's assignments, spiritual assignments from source and from your guides, are going to be a little bit different. But this feels like a very, well, obviously it's pile 3. But pile 3 usually is like more to the advanced side of what's going on in the readings. Usually, it's not always, but pile 3's always got some sort of magical, mystical, higher ascended level of consciousness out there. Is usually my pile 3's. You are an advanced practitioner. You may have been working on your spiritual practice for quite some time. And why are you even here, you wonder? I think at this point, maybe it's just kind of fun for you to see these readings, to hang out with some of your favorite readers or people or soul family, like, wherever you find them on social media or whatever. And it's just kind of fun to see the cards and hear the stuff and, bask in the energy of somebody else in your soul group. I think that's why you're here. And that these messages also, it's fun to get confirmations of stuff. I don't know, for me, it's kind of fun to hear the messages, and to understand, that you are being highly guided, guarded, and rewarded. And it's like, almost like your guides are your fangirls and guys. Like, your guys are like looking at you with this like level of pride, like a proud parent or something. I can't really explain the feeling, but like, oh, like they're so enamored by the work that you've done on yourself, and they just want to give you all these accolades and really pump you up. Because I think you could be here too. Like, this morning, I was still feeling a little like, wah, wah, about what's going on. And the past couple of days, there's very weird energy, this collective clearing thing. And I heard something, I was listening to Molly McCord, the astrologer, and she just said a couple of things that were just like, I was just bawling. I was just in tears, but it was just like, your guides, it's just pretty much what I just said. Your guides, these are good rewards coming. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing bad happening. This is all happening. It's fine. It's happening for a reason. And this is really a time of great celebration and great reward. Even over, if the past few days before you saw this reading, you were feeling like, what? I just get slapped back, like 5. I was telling my son, I'm like, I feel like I went way super forward. I feel like I was so close to what I wanted. And then I feel like I got slapped way back into like the old world or whatever, the one I'm stepping out of, and the new one that I'm stepping into is so bizarre. And then today, when I heard her say just those couple of things, I was just like so relieved. I don't know why. And I was very emotional. And she was like, you need to just celebrate your wins and know that, Spirit has the highest regard for every being, not just you, me, not just human beings, but for those of us that have took a stand and volunteered to come down and do the work and support the planet during this time, you do get a little bit of a special pass. And you should be aware of that and be very, very honored and feel very, very grateful that you're not just out there like the regular Joe or Jane, unawake and unaware, and that you are getting a little bit of special treatment, they're saying. So be aware of that. And know that your journey is very, very protected. All right, pile number 3. That is all we have for you. So I want to thank you so much for joining me here today. We've either seen you in multiple piles or we'll see you somewhere else on the interwebs at TLC for the Soul. Thank you once again, and take care.